Guys, I wanted to make this video because I don't know if this will be the most important video I ever make or if it has been the most important video that I've made so far, but I think a lot about, as a society, how we all treat each other. It's something that I actually pay attention to quite closely. Not necessarily how, not even involving myself, but seeing how people interact with one another and seeing how they treat one another, how people online treat each other, and just how we make each other feel as a society and a community. And really, what I have noticed is that I think it really goes back. I mean, like, a lot of the issues that we have as a society really go back and stem from that. We just need to be kinder to one another, and how crucially, freakishly underrated being kind to one another is, you know. And I really mean this in every facet of life, you know. I haven't really talked about on this channel much. I might do a video on this separately, but I'm not really into politics. I've never been into politics. I've never voted. Like, I'm not registered to vote, and it's not necessarily that I don't care. It's just, you know, part of it has to do with you hear one side saying one thing and one side saying another. And what I have felt is that when these people are going at it, the left side and the right side are going at it with each other, I don't really think they're going at each other from a kind standpoint and perspective, and they're not going into the conversation trying to make each other better and find a resolution, instead of what they're really doing, which is trying to make the other person convince the other person onto their side, or to change someone else's mind, instead of going into it with kindness and trying to manipulate somebody. And of course, it's debating. That's what it all is about, too. I get that. But I think a lot of perspectives and a lot of opinions would be heard a lot clearer if you come to conversations with a kind attitude and you bring kindness into the conversation. Kindness is just one of those things that is so criminally underrated to me. And, you know, I think it is so much better to live in a world where everything stems from kindness, instead of stemming from deceit or envy or anger, right? I mean, you know how many actions are made by people that are just envious of another, instead of just forgetting that and moving on and being kind to one another. You know, life is a lot easier and a lot less stressful when you're not thinking about other people in that type of way, and you're just being kind and you're being genuine, you know. And it really also does go back to, you know, we're only in control of ourselves, right? Like, I cannot control the kindness of another person, and that's part of the challenge of it too, I think. You know, we don't have control, obviously, over other people's kindness, but what we can do is try to be kind to one another and hope that they spread the message and do the same to others. You know, the golden rule, you know, treating each other as you want to be treated. And I think that's so important. I think if our society was built on that, on kindness and generosity and being genuine, I think not only our country, the entire world would be better. Everything would be better. I mean, we would probably have world peace, but of course there's differing cultures. That just is not a reality. But of course we can keep pushing and continue to be kind and hope that our impact continues to impact others. So it's a quick video today. I want to give you guys a shout out for that and just talk about how important it is to be kind, what your guys' thoughts are on that. Do you guys completely disagree with me? I'm totally open to that in the comments, of course. I want to hear from you guys. That's the whole point of this channel. Like, I want to create a community where, you know, we can talk about these things, but I think kindness is just so important, so underrated, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. So hope everyone has a great night. We've basically made it through the week, which is a big W, and Hope everyone has a great weekend. Happy Thursday night, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Peace out.